Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make the perfect Nigerian fried rice. So if today is your first time here, please kindly click on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notified every time I post a new video. Also, you're going to find the full measurement and the list of everything I used in the description box of this video. So make sure you check it out. And if you have any question, leave it in the comment section. So let's get started. So here are some of the ingredients we're going to be needing. First up, here we have our carrot that has been peeled and then sliced into small dice. Make sure that you get very sweet carrots. It's going to tell in the final outcome of your dish. And here I have my green bell pepper also that has been deseeded and sliced into small dice. Guys, you want to make sure that you cut all your vegetables into uniform size so that it's going to look pretty in the final outcome of your dish. And in this bowl here we have our green beans. I remove the strand of the beans by the side before slicing it. Guys, if you can't do this by hand, you can find some vegetable cutters that will enable you cut your vegetables into uniform size. And in this bowl here, I have my red bell pepper. So for this recipe, we're going to be using ×2 of the red bell pepper because we have many other vegetables that are green in color. So you're going to double your red bell pepper so that it will pop up in the final outlook of your dish. Here I have my fresh sweet corn. I often buy fresh sweet corn from the supermarket. I bought some of them, and some of them I'll just remove it from the corn cob and freeze. I use it for cooking fried rice. But if you can't find fresh sweet corn, you can always buy the canned sweet corn. It works perfectly as well. And next up here we have some sliced onion, and in this bowl I have my green pea. If you don't have fresh green pea, you can also use the canned green pea, but the fresh one is very good and much better. In this bowl here I have my minced garlic and ginger, and finally we have our spring onion or green onion. I'm not going to be slicing this right now. I'm going to be slicing it just a minute before I need to use it. So let's get cooking. And for the protein that we're going to be using, I'm going to be using chicken. If you prefer to use turkey, beef, or any other meat of choice, it's totally fine. So into it I poured in my onion, my seasoning cube, curry powder, some dry thyme. You can use fresh thyme if you have. I added some salt, bay leaf, and I'll just add a little bit of ginger and garlic, and I'll stir this to combine. I'll cover this for about 10 to 15 minutes and allow it to cook in its own juice. And while the chicken was cooking, into another pot I placed in my cow liver, and then I added a little bit of salt, and I'll be adding some water into this. And then I'll cover this and allow it to cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. It doesn't take long to cook this. And once this was cooking, I went ahead to check on the chicken again, and you can see amount of juice that came out. So I added some water into it. I stirred nicely to combine again, and I'll cover it until the chicken is nicely cooked. And at this time, our cow liver was already cooked. I allowed it to cool down, then I went ahead to slice it up. So what you want to do is you want to slice this into similar shape or similar size as your vegetables, so that at the end of the day it's all going to look uniform and it's going to come out very beautiful. Then I'll set this aside, and at this point the chicken was already done, so I just pour it into a strainer, and then I'll just allow this to cool down. Now we're going to go ahead to wash our rice. I'm using long grain parboiled rice here, and I'll be washing it with some hot water mixed with cold water because I don't want it to burn my hands. So I added some cold water at first, and I added some hot water. I realized it was really still hot, so I went ahead to add more water and I'll wash this. I know that some people prefer to add a little bit of salt while washing their rice. It doesn't actually have any effect to it. It doesn't make the rice cleaner. I don't know why people add salt. I think it's a waste because you're still going to end up washing out the salt. But if you feel comfortable washing your rice with salt, it is totally fine. But anyways, I'm just going to be washing my rice here until the water run really clean, and then I'll pour it into a strainer and then just rinse it off again to make sure that the water comes out very clear. So once you're done pouring your rice onto a strainer, you're going to allow this sit for a while to make sure that the rice dries a little bit, because we're going to be frying our rice. So you don't want to fry rice that is very wet. It's just going to end up steaming. So just set this aside. And then while that is draining thoroughly into a pot, you're going to add some vegetable oil and some butter. You can use vegetable oil alone, you can use butter alone, but I like doing a combination of both of them. And you can see here that the rice is already dry, so I poured the rice into the pot, added curry powder into it. The curry powder is what gives your Nigerian fried rice that yellow color. So now we're just going to go ahead to toast this rice for about 10 to 15 minutes. Guys, you want to be patient and make sure that you're toasting this rice on low to medium heat. And after about 10 to 15 minutes, add your chicken stock into it. Add some water, add salt, some thyme, your bay leaf, and then your nutmeg. I like using fresh nutmeg. I like to just grate it. It gives it this very lovely aroma. But if you have the nutmeg powder, you can also go ahead and use that. So I stirred it to combine, and now I'll just cover this and allow it to cook until it is completely done. And while that was cooking, I went ahead to place my chicken onto a baking tray, and I'm just going to be grilling this in an oven. You can actually fry your chicken if you want that, but I'm just going to be grilling mine in the oven. And next up, went ahead to check up on the rice, and the rice was already fully cooked at this time. I allowed it to just sit for a while before fluffing it, and guys, you can see how grainy the rice looks. So make sure that you toast your rice. This is one of the secrets to making the perfect Nigerian fried rice. Now in a pan, I poured some oil, and we're going to be frying our cow liver. You're going to toast this for about 3 to 5 minutes or until it comes out looking just like this. And then you're going to remove this from the pan and set it aside. I try not to finish eating it before it's time to use it. Now in a pan, I poured in some oil, some butter, and I'm going to be frying my carrot and green pea. So I added a little bit of ginger and garlic into it and some onion, and I'll just fry this for about 5 minutes. We're starting with this first because these vegetables take the longest to cook. It's the hardest, so you want to start with the vegetable that takes the longest to cook. So cook this for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then you go ahead and add your sweet corn and add your red bell pepper into it, some salt, seasoning cube. So you're going to continue cooking this for about 2 to 3 minutes again on medium heat. And then you're going to pour in your green beans, your green bell pepper, pour in your rice into it at this time. And you can see how beautiful this is already looking. You're going to add the fried liver and stir this to combine. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to fry this for another 3 to 5 minutes. Be patient with it. Keep frying it because you want it to turn out looking beautiful. So just keep frying this, and then you finish it up with your spring onion. Now stir this to combine and serve. You don't need to cook any further because you do not want your greens to go black. So I served this with the chicken, and guys, it tasted so good. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also give this video a thumbs up. So I'll see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.